I'm just curious to know whether SVB has been tainted by all this, and would startups bank with SVB again, even if it is reconstituted under new ownership?
Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, I missed it the first time. Look,
Sure.
At the end of the day, the bank, that institution, played a pivotal role in the community. And I mean, Silicon Valley is in the name of the bank, but it really served the innovation ecosystem in the United States. Now, I'm not going to get into risk management practices and how they were pricing their hold to maturity securities and all these issues that ended in tears this weekend. But there is a potential vacuum here. To your question as to where the innovation ecosystem and the tech companies, venture capitalists, private equity, and all the different entities that bank with it, they're going to have to go somewhere. But I do believe, similar to what you guys were talking about in the previous segment, that there's a regime change. It's no longer free capital. You're going to have to discount things to net present value. And when the risk-free rate is not zero, you're expecting some real return. So I think this is a change of behavior across not only the innovation economy, but also the economy overall.
Could this have been avoided, Javier, by putting in place the proper risk management?
Well, I mean, I wasn't inside the bank, but it seems to me like there are some tools bank could use, right? I think the last segment, the guy was talking about the differences between 08 and 23. The risk, the issue that happened in 2008 had to do with very exotic derivatives and excessive risk taken on bad credit. This was not that. This was not a solvency or credit issue. This was a liquidity issue. But in a raising rate environment, if you're a bank CEO, you're looking at your portfolio and, I mean, Finance 101, the value of bonds and credit assets goes down in a rising rate environment. So there should have been some hedges. There should have been, there probably could have been all kinds of things you could have done. Now, the regulations, a lot of the things that were born out of 2008, Dodd-Frank and some of the other things to keep banks in check and avoid kind of systemic situations that we encountered in 08, created some tools for the Feds to regulate banks. But yeah, I think the situation could have been avoided, but the macros are changing very rapidly and difficult to deal with. But the job of a bank,
right,
like the plain vanilla job of a bank, is to manage short-term unsecured claims, which are deposits, to assets. And in the case of Silicon Valley Bank, the vast majority of those assets happen to be very long-dated that had decrease in value.